Good day and welcome to today's lesson. Our lesson today is on comparative and superlative adjectives. By the end of the lesson, we are going to be able to recognize what an adjective is. We will be able to identify the form of an adjective when you compare two things, and identify the form of the adjective when you compare three or more things. So what is an adjective? An adjective is a word that describes the noun. It gives us more information about the noun. For example, this is a red flower. What kind of a flower is it? Red. So it's giving us more information about the flower. Or you could even say it is a pretty flower. So pretty and red are your adjectives. For comparative adjectives, they describe the differences between two nouns. So if you look at the little picture there, what are your two nouns? Your two nouns are your cat and your dog. And the comparative adjective compares the cat and the dog. So you could say that the dog is bigger than the cat, or you could say the cat is smaller than the dog. Bigger and smaller are your comparative adjectives. How do you form a comparative adjective? So the actual word, for one syllable adjectives, we add er. So one syllable, if you look at it, it is cold. So cold becomes colder. Fast becomes faster. For adjectives ending in e, you add r, so the word safe has an e at the end, it becomes safer, and the word nice becomes nicer. For single vowel and single consonant words, we add the last letter plus er. So if you look at the word hot, we have one vowel, the o, and one consonant, a t. So we add another t plus er, and for big, we add another g plus er. And the words become hotter and bigger. For adjectives ending in y, we remove the y and add ier. So for tiny, we take away the y, we add ier, it becomes tinier. Dirty becomes dirtier. For two or more syllable adjectives, we add more. So beautiful, beautiful, 3 syllables. We add more beautiful. Popular, 3 syllables. You add more popular. So we talked about the form of the word adjective. Now we are going to talk about the form of the whole sentence. For comparative adjective, you have a subject, then a verb, then your comparative adjective, and then we have the word than before the rest of your sentence. So we use than after a comparative adjective. For example, to travel on the metro is faster than coming to university by car. Irregular adjectives, our whole word changes. So for example, good becomes better. That was a good movie. Or you could say, this movie is better than that movie when you're comparing two movies. And if you say bad, it becomes worse. So this movie is bad, but that movie was even worse. In the case of your superlative adjectives, it describes the difference between 3 or more nouns. So if you look at the picture, we have 3 different buildings, and C is the tallest building in the street. You form the superlative adjective. For one syllable adjectives, we add est. So cold becomes coldest. Fast becomes fastest. For adjectives ending in an E, we just add st. So safe becomes safest, and nice becomes nicest. For single vowel and single consonant words, we add the last letter plus est. So hot becomes hottest and big becomes biggest. For adjectives ending in y, we take away the y and we add ist. Tiny becomes tiniest and dirty becomes dirtiest. For two or more syllable adjectives, we add most. So beautiful becomes most beautiful and popular, most popular. The form of a sentence is a subject, then the verb, and then we add the word the. Then your superlative adjective and your object. So we use the before a superlative adjective. For example, the metro is the cheapest way to travel in the city. Irregular adjectives, again the word changes, so good becomes best and bad becomes worst. Let's look at these sentences and choose the correct word for each sentence, and then we've got to change it to a comparative or superlative adjective depending on what fits the sentence. So for example, she was the fastest runner in the race, so she won a prize. If we look at the adjectives in the box, we have fast, easy, cheap, short, hot and popular. Fast is the best adjective for the sentence, but then we have to change the word fast to a comparative or superlative adjective. In this case, we're comparing the runner to all the runners in the race, so 3 or more runners. So we have to use a superlative adjective, and we get she was the fastest runner in the race, so she won a prize. I'd like you to do the rest of them now yourself, number 1 to 5. I will give you a few minutes to do it, and then we will move on to the answers. Okay, let's check our answers. I hope all your answers were correct. Thank you for watching. Bye.